Hello you guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Charity and you are watching Booked on Charity. If you're here for the very first time, thank you for tuning in. I hope that you will make the decision to click the subscribe button down below, and if you're returning, thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. So today I want to take you through my February wrap-up. So I read a total of 5 books in February. So I'm just gonna look at my phone so I can go through my Goodreads and remember what I actually read. So the first book that I read in February was The Girl with the Loudoun Voice, and this is by Abidare, and I rated this book 5 stars. I thought that it was really good. I really enjoyed the writing. So even though it was written in quote-unquote bad English, it was fairly easy to follow, and we can see a lot of character growth in this book, which I really liked. In this book, we follow a young girl. I think she's 15 in this book, right? Her name is Aduni, and she's actually 14 years old. And she had recently lost her mother, so she's living with her father, her younger brother, and her older brother who's like working. And they live in the rural areas of Nigeria, and so they're really struggling. And especially after losing the mother, it was even worse. So it got worse, and then the mother had always wanted Aduni to go to school and get an education, so that has always been Aduni's plan. However, when they were seeing basically the best of flames, Aduni's father decided to sell her daughter to an older man to get married to, so that that man can basically support the rest of the family that will be left behind after Aduni leaves the home. And we see how this is actually a practice that is followed a lot in that area, and we see how that is practiced a lot in that circumstance. Like a lot of the young girls in the village are grown up with the idea that they had to marry rich, not rich because literally nobody's rich in that village, but you have to marry well so that you leave your family in a better situation. And I feel like that shouldn't be put on young girls. That shouldn't be a responsibility that you take on. And as well, like it's very, like I totally do not agree with having young girls get married off to these old men who just want a pile of kids and just want to take advantage of young brides, and basically a bargain with their parents to get married to their kids so that they can, you know, buy you a bag of rice or whatever. And yeah, so that was the case. So that actually happened to Aduni. So her father sold out to this very bad man just so that they can use her bride price to sustain the family and basically have the guy keep taking care of him. And throughout the book, I just didn't get why the father didn't go make a different plan to take care of his family. Like, he actually really irritated me. But yeah, so Aduni ended up getting married to this man, and you know, there's a lot of trigger warnings in here, and I actually have them up. So there's trigger warnings for abuse, for rape, death and grief, and then as well as minor and adult relationships, which I just explained now. So Aduni ends up marrying to this man, and she becomes the third wife, and there's all this pressure as well to bear him a son because he just wants an heir, and both his wives right now have given him only girls. And now Adini is forced into a sexual relationship with this man, and you can see that it's something that she doesn't want, and she has to go to the extremes of looking for ways to prevent herself from getting pregnant because her goal is to still, you know, find an education. So we follow her journey, and she ends up having to run away to Lagos to basically work as a domestic worker for this family. And even there, she experiences a lot of physical abuse, a lot of emotional abuse, a lot of verbal abuse, and yeah, so it's just like same devil, different skin type situation. So yeah, but we see like her strength comes through, her resilience comes through, and I think it's a very beautiful story. So I can't necessarily say I didn't enjoy it in the entertainment sort of way, because it is a bit of a tough story, but I enjoyed the message of it, or let me say I appreciated the message of the book, and this is why I gave it 5 stars. And the next book that I read was Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. I do not have that physical book with me because I recently borrowed it to my cousin, so I'll put up a picture, but I'm pretty sure everybody knows what that book looks like. And this is by J.K. Rowling. So obviously we follow Harry from when he was a baby to when he was orphaned and had to live with his aunt and uncle, and all the abuse that he faced until the day that he turned 11 years old and everything started changing for him, and he got invited to the most prestigious wizardry school, and we see his journey at Hogwarts, making friends and dealing with his first instance of the bad guy. And it's like full of adventure, it's full of courage, and I really enjoyed it. I haven't read the Harry Potter series in completion, so that's what I'm trying to do this year, and this is why I read the book. I rated it 4.5 stars. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. The next book that I read was on audio, and that was My Sister, the Serial Killer. I rated this book 4 stars, and this is by Oyinkan Braithwaite. So this follows 2 sisters, one obviously who's a serial killer, and the other sister who's basically her job has become cleaning up after her serial killer sister. And this story was very intriguing. So basically we have 2 sisters. One of the sisters' names is Ayola, and Ayola is basically the serial killer. And then we have her older sister, Corri, and they come from a family where their father was very abusive, and Corri always was basically in a position where she had to be the protector of her sister and the one to take care of her sister. And we still see that even when they've grown up. So Ayola has a sickness. Basically it's a sickness. Ayola has a sickness where she keeps killing her boyfriends. So whatever they do to make her angry, she ends up murdering them, and then she always calls Corri to come and help her clean it up. And Corri has been doing that, and obviously she doesn't like it, but she'll do anything for her sister. And then everything turns badly, basically, or sideways, when Ayola starts dating the man that Corri is in love with. And now she fears for this man and trying to keep them separate, but then it just makes it worse because it looks like she's just a jealous sister, and it's a whole mess. But yeah, I really enjoyed this read. I would really recommend it. It's an African thriller. I like to say South African. Hey, I'm from South Africa, that's why. But yeah, it's an African thriller based in Nigeria. So yeah, I gave that 4 stars. The next book that I read was Being Corri, and this is by Takealot Wishlist. So in this book, this is a South African author, by the way. In this book, we follow Corri, and the book starts us off on the 14th of February, where basically everything went haywire. First of all, she found out that her husband has cheated on her, and then on the same day, she found out that her grandmother died. So now she's dealing with all these mixed feelings, and she's dealing with the traumas, and what I liked about this book is that it delves a lot into the Islam religion, so you get to learn a lot or quite a bit about the Islam religion without the author intentionally trying to teach you about it. So, you know, the book is written in a way where it's normal to just talk about it the same way that a book that's written about Christianity. Nobody is explaining to you what Christianity is. Everybody's just making the assumption that you know or you'll find out. And so it's written in that same way. It's written in a way that if you're Islam, you'll understand exactly everything that they say or that they're talking about or the references that they're making. But for me, for example, who is not Islam, with the book written this way, it actually makes me want to go and find out what these things are and what these references mean. And that's exactly what I was doing, and I actually I liked that, and it got me learning a lot about the culture and the religion. So yeah, and the writing was very easy to follow. So yeah, I did enjoy this book. This was a buddy read with Umpile from Bokamoso, and I rated this book 4 stars. So the last book that I read in February was The Worst Best Men, and this is by Mia Sosa, and I listened to this on audiobook. I rated it 3.5 stars. So we follow Lena, who basically gets left at the altar. She's a wedding planner and her own wedding goes sideways, and on the day of her wedding she finds out that basically the wedding's off because the best man comes to tell her that, hey, the wedding's off, and I think I might have something to do with it because I found this message or this voicemail, I don't remember what it was, where I was telling my brother that I don't think he's ready for marriage and all that. So yeah, he becomes public enemy number 1, and Lena ends up not getting married. Fast forward some time later, Lena finds herself in the same room as her ex-fiance as well as his brother, which was the best man, and she's forced to basically work on a campaign with them. And she ends up getting paired with the brother who was the best man. And yeah, so we see how their relationship turns from it's basically an enemies to lovers book. So the relationship turns from enemies, and we see all their banter, and we see how they're trying to work together and still be professional, and how they start falling for each other but not trying to be in a relationship. But then we know how it all ends up. But yeah, it was really fun. It was a nice read. It was a nice palate cleanser. The banter was good. The steaminess was on a good level. It wasn't the greatest read ever, but yeah, I did enjoy it, so I gave it a 3.5 stars. So that was quite like an average read for me in February. I hope that March is gonna be a better reading month for me in terms of quantity as well as quality. We shall see. I am trying to do some reading vlogs in the month of March. I only started this week. By the way, today is 9th of March and it's currently 6:06 p.m. for your reference if you were interested. So yeah, I decided to start doing a reading vlog from yesterday, and we'll see how it goes. If I find the footage good enough, I will upload. If not, maybe I will try it out some other time. But yeah, anyway, thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope that you'll be here the next time I upload a new one. And please like, comment and subscribe to my channel, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Follow me on my Bookstagram as well, on BookedonCharity. That is one word. Thanks so much, and bye bye.